Today, I'm going to be going through every track in Mario Kart World to determine which are edible and which are not. Let's start eating some tracks. Starting off with Bowser's Castle, there's not really anything edible on this track as far as I know. Because I don't think lava is edible, guys. Call me crazy, I don't think it's edible, so Bowser's Castle is not really edible. Alright, Airship Fortress. This is one that I was actually kind of concerned about because I could not decide while I was making this video. Is Airship Fortress edible? Is it not? And I think I've decided that it's not edible. Because when you think about it, the entire track is not edible, but the rocky wrenches are kind of edible because, I mean, you can eat moles, right? I mean, they'd probably taste good. I don't know. I've never eaten a mole, but they're probably edible, so. I mean, the track itself isn't really edible, though, so Airship Fortress is not edible. Another interesting track, Acorn Heights. So, when you think about this one... Actually, hold on, wait, are acorns edible? Okay, guys, acorns actually are edible, but disclaimer, they have to be prepared properly, so... I would go look up how to prepare them properly before I eat them, just an FYI. But... just because there are giant acorns rolling through, like, the whole track, I think I would count Acorn Heights as edible. Moo Moo Meadows. Yeah, this is just edible. Like, hamburgers! Literally just hamburgers. There's a pond in it. There's a source of fresh water. Hamburgers. Like, well, I feel like there's something else, though. I mean, there's definitely plenty of grasses, but there's probably cow crap in it, though. But I mean, fresh water and hamburgers, though, I give it edible just based off of that. So, Moo Moo Meadows is definitely edible. Toad's Factory. So, Toad's Factory doesn't really have any food you can eat. Well, actually, hold up. No, the crates actually do have mushrooms in them. I forgot about that. So, I mean, they do have mushroom. Well, no, you can't eat banana peels, I don't think, but mushrooms. But that's not really the trap, though. It does have a water source, but it's probably pretty polluted, though, so... Toad's Factory is probably not edible. Dry Bones Burnout. A really interesting one when you think about it, because you might think at first that the whole track, because it's completely made of bone, that you wouldn't be able to eat it. But, I mean, if you boil bones, you can make, like, bone broth, and you can actually eat the bones, so pretty much the whole track is edible for Dry Bones Burnout. Except for, like, the rocky sections, but the entire skeletal section, that's just completely edible, so I think I'm gonna count Dry Bones Burnout as edible. Wario Stadium. I was going through all these tracks, guys, trying to determine which would be the least edible. I did not think that it would be Wario Stadium. But when you think about it, there's literally no food. There's not even any grasses, it's all just mud, dirt, and metal. So, Wario Stadium is not edible. It is the least edible track. And zero food, nothing you can eat. Crown City, I don't know, that's a questionable one because you do have access to salt water, but and like trees that are in the city, but I get, you know, there are restaurants in the city though. I did not think about that, so I guess I could count Crown City as being edible. And Sky High Sundae. Of course this is edible. The track is literally just made of ice cream. Like, is there anything inedible about this track? I mean, the whole thing is pretty much just edible. Mario Bros. Circuit. It came so close to being edible for me, guys. But, there is water on this track. But it's just out of bounds. Like, because the way I'm doing this is I'm counting everything you can access while you're in a time trial. The water is just barely inaccessible in a time trial. There's a restaurant on Mario Bros. Circuit. It's just barely inaccessible in time trials. There's a cactus. You can eat cacti. It's just barely out of bounds in time trials. You just barely can't reach it. And so, I mean, I have to call it inedible, even though, like, these things are like just barely, like, even within the track, but you still just can't reach them, so I gotta count it as inedible. Mario Circuit isn't really edible because it's just kind of roads, sand, and like barriers and stuff. There's no vegetation you can eat. There's nothing. So Mario Circuit is not edible. Yeah, Boost Cinema is pretty similar to Mario Circuit with having pretty much nothing you can eat. So for being a movie theater, it's very void of food. So yeah, you can't really eat Boost Cinema. Dino Jungle's definitely a very edible one because you got tons of vegetation and you've got like dinosaur eggs everywhere. Like you can eat dinosaur eggs, and like there are dinosaurs. I'm sure. I mean, this is theoretical, guys. So if you could kill them, you could definitely eat them, right? I mean, it'd just be like a giant turkey leg or something. So I mean, Dino Jungle's definitely edible. And the other one, similar to Sky High Sundae, we have Choco Mountain. Well, it is debatable. Is this track covered in chocolate or is it mud? I think it's. I'm just gonna say it's chocolate because it's literally called Choco Mountain. So we have that. The chocolate is edible, so pretty much the whole track is edible. And then the Charging Chucks are turtles, so you can actually eat turtles. So I mean, the Charging Chucks are technically edible. So this is probably the most edible track so far because I'm grading in like food variety. So even though Sky High Sundae is like completely edible, it's all just ice creams. Like there's no variety. If you were stranded on Sky High Sundae, you would die because you ate too much sugar. Starview Peak is a very tough one though because it has so much water, but it's not really food. So I mean, you can drink the track, but you can't really eat the track though. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think that this should count as being edible if I can drink the track. But in this case, I'm just gonna say it's inedible. Shy Guy Bazaar is not really edible though because the whole thing's pretty much just sand, and I don't think there's any food in the shop area, so I think it's just rugs and masks and other things. There's no actual food, so. And there's not any palm trees, I don't think, or vegetation within the course, so I think Shy Guy Bazaar is going to be inedible. Dandelion Depths. At first, you might think that this one might be edible because of all the bitty buds. But a good rule of thumb, all the little iPad kids listening, is don't eat very brightly colored insects. And because we don't really know what bitty buds taste like or if they're edible, they are very brightly colored, so usually that's a sign that they're toxic. So bitty buds are not edible. And I don't know about dandelions though. I'm not sure. But I don't think that would change it much anyway, because the whole track is pretty much just dirt and metal, so I think Dandelion Depths is inedible. DK Spaceport is literally just a track that is completely void of all kinds of food, dude. Like, there's nothing. Like, all the way up, there's just no food whatsoever. There's like not even any grass or anything. But the only reason it does better than Wario Stadium is because Wario Stadium's just horrible. It's just dirt. It's dirt everywhere. Like, you can't eat dirt. Like, this is all metal. So it's like, I mean, there is technically water nearby, but you can't reach it while staying in the boundaries of the track. So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely inedible. Great question mark block ruins, though. It doesn't have any, it has some, but it doesn't have like a sustaining source of vegetation. It's just like grass and a few like scrub bushes or whatever, so like not anything with like real nutritional value. And the actual water is like on that giant water spout and all the way down at the bottom where you can't actually reach it. And so there isn't really anything that sticks out to me as being edible about this track, so this track is pretty much just inedible. Oh yeah, Faraway Oasis. It's literally just covered in animals that I could just eat, guys. I want to eat these elephants and this buffalo, or whatever those are. I don't know. The ostriches, the zebras, guys. I just want to eat all of it. And I mean, it does have a source of fresh water, but I don't know why it's brown though. So I don't know how healthy that is. You'd have to purify that, which I mean you could do so. Faraway Oasis is doing pretty good, honestly. So definitely edible. Whistle Stop Summit might have gotten close to Wario Stadium, but there is a small patch of grass for the mushroom shortcut before the train section. And so, I mean, I don't know, it's just grass, so I mean, it's technically edible, but it doesn't have that much nutritional value. So, and it's like a small patch of grass, so I'm gonna count this as inedible. Rainbow Road it's not really edible because the only section where you can really eat things is like the whole grass and water section. Well, spoilers for Rainbow Road, but like that section, like I don't know about the water though. Like, is it electrified? Like, why is it so glittery and why does it speed my car up? So I don't know if you would want to drink that. And like the grass, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said on Whistle Stop Summit, it doesn't really have that much nutritional value. So I think I would have to count Rainbow Road as inedible. DK Pass is very similar to Starview Peak in that it's pretty much just covered in water, so that's pretty much, you can pretty much just drink the track. Or if you like, do you eat a snow cone or do you drink a snow cone? So I don't know. I guess that technically could count as eating it because it's frozen water, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments again. I don't know about this one. Cheap Cheap Falls is another very edible track because when you think about it, the whole falls area, you have a source of water, and there's fish all up and down that river, stream, whatever. So you can eat the fish, and I mean you can't really eat the vegetation, but you do have a good source of meat and water. So that's I definitely count that as being edible. Desert Hills is another one that's probably inedible because the vegetation you can't really eat. There's no cacti. These cacti are edible, but there aren't any on this track. And there aren't really any palm trees with coconuts either, so there is a water source, but there isn't really any vegetation that you can eat. So Desert Hills is inedible. Next up is also a pretty edible track, Salty Salty Speedway. Which, I mean, when you think about it, the water is salt water, as specified in the name, but you can purify it, so I do count that as a source of water. There is a restaurant on this track, but I don't think there's very much, like, vegetation. And there are no enemies you can eat either, so, I mean, it's pretty much just water in a restaurant, so, I mean, that's pretty good, so I would count it as being edible. Wario Shipyard, so I mean, this track, all it's really got is just water and like a couple of palm trees. And I mean, it's just like a couple of palm trees, so I mean, they're not really that edible, I don't think. But the water, I mean, you could purify it, I guess, but it looks kind of nasty, honestly. Like, the water, like, to be honest, I would probably purify and take like the water from Faraway Oasis before I took the water from Wario Shipyard. Because, like, the water in Shipyard just looks nasty, so, I mean, I don't think this is really edible, personally. I don't know, it could just be an opinion, though. Koopa Troopa Beach is one that I give a lot of points to for variation, though. Because this whole thing, like I said, is based on food variation. And when you think about it, there is a Yoshi's on Koopa Troopa Beach. There are fish, you have access to salt water, so, I mean, if you could you can purify it, so that is a source of water. So you have water, fish, a literal restaurant, so I mean, I would say that's definitely the best one so far. At first, you might think that Peach Beach would just kind of be mid because of the water, but there's actually a lot more on this track than you would think, because you do have a source of salt water, the ocean. I mean, you can purify that, but there's also that fountain, so I mean, you could drink from that technically. There's all sorts of foliage and plants off to the side in the off-road. There is a Yoshi's too here, and the Cataquacks. I mean, you can definitely eat up. I mean, honestly, the cataquacks would probably taste pretty good, honestly. And of course, there's the ocean source of water. So I mean, you got water, restaurant, giant ducks you can eat. I mean, if I were stranded on any Mario Kart track, I think I would want to be stranded here. And finally, Peach Stadium. It's not really edible because there's like a little bit of grass in the first and I guess in the later section by the pipes. But I mean, as I said, it doesn't really have that much nutritional value, and I'm not really counting that as being edible since there's so much grass in Mario Kart World. So honestly, Peach Stadium, it's gonna be inedible. I mean, you can't really eat the grass for that much nutritional value. So which is the most edible in terms of food variation in Mario Kart World? Our winner is Peach Beach. Because honestly, like, being able to eat the cataquacks, there's a restaurant, and there's a source of fresh water and salt water that you would have to purify, and that there's grass and foliage. I mean, I didn't even think about this earlier, but there are crates for that shortcut. I don't know. Do mushrooms come out of that? Like, that could be even more food on that track type. Like, obviously in terms of food variety, because it's not Choco Mountain or Sky High Sundae, but when you think about food variety, this track is like, this track will be delicious, honestly. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know which tracks you can and can't eat in Mario Kart World.